Okay, we're going to explore how to log a meal in the fitness app. We're going to do this in a few sections, so feel free to just jump to the section that you are interested in or follow along and I'll take you through step by step. The way I generally recommend most people to log the nutrition is to do it for a couple weeks and use it as a learning experience. So you can try to pick up on the nutrition content of the food you're actually eating, and then you'll know, oh, I need to actually get more protein in my diet, something basic, or this particular meal has way more calories than I thought it did. Is there something I can take out to bring it down? Maybe I'm going to use a little less oil. And then we generally fall into habits and routines. As long as that habit and routine has a variety of food throughout, then you can stick to that and you know that you're sticking within nutrition goals that you're aiming for because you've already done this process. You don't have to continue to keep logging to make sure. The key with logging meals, I think, is you do a little bit of work up front to set yourself up, getting all the foods and meals that you regularly eat logged in and saved as favorites. And then from there, you're just going to be doing copying and quick logging. Let me show you a quick example of that. We could just go to the plus button, hit meal. You can even change the date to multiple days. I'll hit apply. And I can just go to my favorites. I had this chicken Waldorfish salad I had here. So if I tap that blue circle, I hit log, and bam, already done. I've logged that meal on both those days. So it's that quick. Once you kind of get through the first hump of getting all the ingredients of meals that you usually use into the app, then it's actually very quick to log them and repeat these things. And then you only have to do that process when you try something brand new. So let's dive in and really explore this thing. So if I hit the blue plus button, the bottom right corner here, and I tap meal, it's going to open us up here. Now, up at the very top, you're going to see that it says today's snack. If I tap that, we're going to go to the calendar here and we can set what days we actually want to schedule this for. It defaults to today, but you could deselect today and actually say you want to do it yesterday and last Saturday and last Thursday, however many days you want there. And then at the top, you can select this is either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a snack. And it will log that for all 3 of those days. Keep in mind, you can only log one breakfast, lunch, or dinner on each day, but you can log as many snacks as you want. Now, what category it falls under does not affect your nutrition metrics at all. It's just a way to label it. So if you've already logged a lunch and you technically are eating something that's more like a lunch and you want to just log it as a snack, it doesn't matter. You could log absolutely everything in here as a snack and the numbers will still come out the same, and that's what I'm going to be looking at and seeing the actual food you're intaking there. So let's, if I hit apply, you'll see it now says 3 days and snacks. So that would be logging it for those 3 days. But I'm actually going to go back in here. I'm going to deselect these. We're going to say it's today just to keep things simple. I'm going to hit apply. Now at the bottom, you'll see we can just, this is defaulting to the creating our own meal from scratch. We also could select recents, and that's just going to be any recent meals that you've logged. It's going to be easier to access them. And then you got your favorites. And then you have this Discover tab here, and this is just a whole bunch of recipes that you could just explore through. There's a ton of recipes. You could hit the filter icon here in the upper right and actually narrow this list down by a whole bunch of different preferences here to try and narrow that list, and then find some recipes that might be interesting for you to check out. And then if you want to favorite any of those, you can just simply tap the meal. It'll have instructions. You'll see a little rundown, a little brief thing about the meal itself. And if you tap the heart icon in the upper right, boom, it's saved. So if I back out here and I go to favorites, you're going to see that tropical smoothie there is now my favorites. And the same thing with your recents. If you have anything here that you want to also add to your favorites, you could just simply tap it and hit favorite. And then you're just going to give it a name. You could say delicious pasta and then call it save. Boom, done. If I back out there now, if I go to my favorites, you'll see delicious past is up there, my favorites. If you want to log anything from either the recents or the favorites tab, there's these little circles in the upper right corner of each one of these icons. And so if you tap one of those, now you can say, oh, how many servings did you have? Was it 2 servings, 3 servings, however many that is? And then you hit log, and then bam, that has now been logged as one of the things that you've had for the day. If you want to see more details or how much one serving is for that meal, you tap the picture itself, that's how you're going to see the details and what it includes. But if you want to log it, you have to actually tap that circle and then hit, however many servings it is and tap log in the upper right-hand corner. But let's explore how to log a meal from scratch that might not be saved in one of these favorites or recents. So we'll just go to create meal here, and you could skip the photo, but if you snap that photo there, that's going to make it easier for you to identify in the future, and it helps me see what exactly you're putting in there. Now, you could search for all the ingredients using the search bar here at the top, or in a much quicker way, the barcode icon on the right side next to the search bar. We'll tap that, and now we're going to get this sort of like checkout experience for each product here. So we'll start with this high fiber cereal. We're going to look at that, and we're going to say, bam, just scan that pretty quick. So we're going to confirm the name's correct. High fiber cereal by Trader Joe's looks good. It's also good to make sure the nutrition information is going to be correct. So see under the name, in the app, it says 2/3 cup, 80 calories. So that's saying that with a 2/3 cup serving should be 80 calories. Well, let's look at the label. So you can see serving size, 2/3 a cup, calories 80. Looks accurate. I like that. I'm going to hit add. I'm going to go to the next product here. We're going to take this Garden of Life organic protein. It's already scanned it. I barely even held it up there. And you can confirm the name looks good. 1 scoop is 130 calories. Let's look at the label. Serving size is 1 scoop, calories 130. I like that. We're going to add it. Bananas are like fruits that have this interesting little barcode, but you'll see it doesn't actually scan. So we just have to find those products ourselves. So I'm going to back out of here. I'm going to use a search bar, and I'm going to just type a banana. So you're going to get like a whole bunch. You'll see these ones that have a blue check mark is going to indicate it's a USDA verified food, which means they're getting the nutrition information from the USDA itself. So I'm going to go with this 1 banana raw. In regards to serving size, you might have to just give it your best guess. If you want to get out of measuring tape, you can measure it and try to get as accurate as you want to be. But I can tell you that what I'm looking about here is about 7 inches long. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it's 1. And you can tap this heart in the upper right to add this to your favorite ingredients list. This way, if there's an ingredient you don't want to constantly search or scan for, you'll have much easier access to it in your favorites list. And then I just hit add in the upper right here. And then we're going to go to this Good Karma milk. So I'm going to scan this. Boom, organic unsweetened flax milk. The name looks good. It says 240 milliliters for 60 calories. Let's look. Serving size is 1 cup, which is equal to 240 milliliters. And calories is 45. Well, that's not accurate. Hang on a second. This is a rare occurrence. This can happen. There are millions of products in the world, and sometimes something gets lost in translation. So it might be confusing this with a different flavor of this particular milk that actually has slightly different nutrition facts to it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit add custom food, and I'm going to plug this product in myself. And then there's just a couple required things here. So we're going to plug in the serving size. I'm going to switch the serving size to a cup. 1 cup is easier to plug in than 240 milliliters. So I'm going to say 1. So I'm going to switch this to 1. And I'm just going to go off of what the nutrition facts say on the carton itself. The micronutrients are optional, but I like to just kind of continue down the nutrition label to just get all the info in here. And you just do it once and it's saved forever. So it takes a bit of effort there, but when I hit save, that product is saved in perpetuity for me to utilize in the future. So you can see I've actually plugged it in once before. I'm just going to delete this duplicate. This is now the one that I've just recently plugged in here. So that's always going to be easy for me to find in custom. So if I just remember that's not going to scan well, if I ever try to use it in the future, I've got it in here custom already made. So to add it to the meal, it hasn't been added to the meal yet. So I hit the plus button on the right-hand side. Now I've got a blue check mark. Now it's going to be added to the meal. Just the same as if you were searching in the favorites or other recent meals, I could go through and add some other products here. That would be a weird cereal. I'm going to delete those. So if I hit review in the top right, this will now take me to all the ingredients I plugged in for this meal. So now we're looking at all of the ingredients for this meal. Now we have to set how much we put in of each of these products. So with the cereal itself, serving size is already set to cups, so I'm going to keep it on that, but I'm going to adjust that up to 2 cups. Hit save. The raw protein in greens, the scoop of protein, you could set it to either grams, ounces, or pounds, but I like it being on scoop right there. I'm going to keep that as 1 scoop. That's my serving size. With the milk, I'm going to keep that on cup as well, but I'm going to adjust that up to 2 for this meal. I'm having 2 cups with this breakfast. And then my 1 banana raw doesn't need to be edited. It's all good. So just by plugging in that info, I can already see that it's 564 calories, and I can see the protein, carbs, and fat macros there along with this meal. If you want to add any notes about this meal, anything that isn't identified here or is not in the photo, you can add a little note here. If that all looks good, then in the upper right hand corner, I'm going to hit log, and bam, I've just logged that meal for the day. You can also log things like your vitamins. So if I go to add a plus button here, go to meals, say we want to log this calcium, magnesium, zinc, we're just going to take a photo of that. Go up, hit the barcode in the upper right hand corner, and you'll see I'll just flip it over to here, scan that, boom. Calcium, magnesium, and zinc Trader Joe's. And it looks like it says an alternative for the scan barcode. I'm going to go with the first one and hit add, hit review at the top, and then from this menu I can then select and try to see the ingredient list, so make sure that looks accurate. So calcium 1000 looks good, magnesium 500, zinc 15, and the serving size is 2 tablets. Great. So it looks good, so I can back out and I can say log. And that will now also get included in your micronutrient information. Now let's explore the stats and details of logged meals. You can access this from either tapping on a day's nutrition stats on your calendar, or you can access today's stats by tapping on the stats on your dashboard. I can see I've got the snack that I logged earlier today and this other snack, which is actually my breakfast. And if I want to change that to a breakfast, you can just do that right there. And on the right-hand side, you can hit the 3 dots and you can use this as an easy way to say, you know what, I like that breakfast, so I'd like to save it to my favorites. I want to give it a name. Also, from those 3 dots, you can copy this meal to another day, retake the photo, or delete the meal from this day. At the top of this list, you'll see, well, if we switch from diary to details, now we're going to get an overview of how this day is looking in regards to our overall nutrition goals we're going for here. So we've got our progress bars that are filling up here. Anything that's gold is pretty much right on target with what you want to hit for the day. It's going to fill up in blue. If it turns red, that means you went a little too far over your limit there. And as you scroll down, you can see the different details, especially the micronutrients that you've even consumed here. So if you're trying to track your micronutrient intake for any reason with your doctor or anything like that, you can kind of see what you're taking in here. Also, from this screen here, you can tap on the graph icon in the upper right corner and see a 2-week overview of how you're doing on your calorie and macro goals. And you can use the arrows here to look back on previous weeks, or use the T to return to today. So as you log your meals here, you'll see more and more data accumulate there, and you'll be able to check back and see how you're doing there. And that's data that I will also see as your trainer and can check in with you about and see if there's anything we can do to try and improve on anything. Now, logging all these meals every single day can feel like a lot. So there's ways to do it a lot faster. And as we explored, there's the recents and the favorites to allow you to quickly log meals. Or say an entire day of meals worth is logged here. Say you had the exact same foods as you had yesterday. So you can simply, in the upper right-hand corner, tap these 3 dots here, and you can copy from yesterday into today, copy from another day into today, or you can copy today's meal to another day. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take today, and we're going to copy this. I had this exact same meal last Thursday. I'll hit copy, and it'll be done. Now I'm looking at last Thursday with the same information here. You can also copy individual meals to another day. So if I just wanted to take this breakfast and not the whole day's worth, I could simply take the breakfast, copy this to another day, and I could say, I know I'm going to have that tomorrow morning. I don't feel like logging it tomorrow. Boom, it's going to be on there. Now it's on for tomorrow. So when you save things to favorites, whether they're ingredients or you save whole meals to favorites, or if you take an entire day's worth of logged meals and copy them to one or multiple other days, it can make logging meals much easier. Now, what if you have some takeout or you're ordering food at a restaurant and you want to be able to log that? Well, you're not going to be able to get as many details, obviously, but you can just try to do what you can. So you can simply try to take a photo. Let's say there's strawberries and bananas here. Snap a photo of that, and then you can plug in the ingredients as best you can. You can use some of my resources that help you determine using the size of your hand, your palm, your fingers, your thumb to determine the amounts of different food that might be in there. But there's some things you won't be able to determine, like the oil or the butter content and such. You could just also leave it blank and just hit review and just leave a note here. And whether you leave a note or not, you can just simply hit log. And then I can look at that later and give you my input at our next session. But it's okay to live a little, eat out at restaurants, eat some takeout, but we can discuss options in our sessions on ways to either have some flexibility while eating out or options to look for on a menu that will keep you on track. And that is how to log a meal in the fitness app. If you have any questions about this process, or questions you even have just about meals you should or shouldn't have, or little things you want some input on, feel free to tap my face in the bottom right hand corner there. This is a way you'll always be able to message me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to. In the meantime, stay strong, stay balanced, and know that I'm here for you.